I've been living in my car with my 2 cats for several months, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that situation, but I don't really know what I can do. If the average price of an apartment is around $1,600 and you need to make 3 times the rent in order to be approved for an apartment, you have to make $4,800 a month, or at least $30 an hour. That's not happening right now. So I don't really know how I can get an apartment unless I can find a really well-paying job. I've been working a seasonal job that definitely doesn't pay $30 an hour with the hopes that I could save up enough money and then move to a city I'd like to live in and find a landlord that might take pity on my soul and sign me to a lease even if I don't make the exact amount of income. But I just don't even know if that will actually be possible. I have a friend that can get me a serving job in California, but that's not guaranteed income, and everything I've tried to research says that servers have to have several months worth of income or bank deposits stacked up before they can consider being approved for an apartment. So I don't really know what to do because California is also a lot harder to overnight park. So I don't even know if I can go down there and live in my car and work to build up income in order to be approved for an apartment. I don't really have a co-signer. I don't really know what I can do. So if anybody has advice, please let me know because I'd like to give my little kitty cats homes.
Hey guys, it's your girl Daya here. I'm literally trying to muster up some strength because I don't have it. Like I do, but I don't. All types of horoscope readings telling me that I have greatness coming up and all this divine, financial, spiritual, all around gain and blessings coming towards me. Yet I just got declined for another place. Like, starting to feel like I'm being discriminated against because I make enough money to rent and no one's letting me rent. And then yet people want to fucking complain about homeless people. But homeless people be out here having whole fucking full jobs and nobody be wanting to fucking rent to them because they're fucking homeless. Or black. Or Spanish. Or, yeah. So, I'm just kind of, I feel like this big right now. I need y'all to like send me some love somehow. Please. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Imagine working full time and sometimes even 2 jobs, and yet you are still broke. Not just struggling a little, but so broke that many of them are now living in their cars. Yes, you heard that right. People who wake up early every morning, go to work 8 to 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, and when their shift ends, they don't go back to a house or an apartment, they go back to a parking lot. Their bedroom is the back of the seat of their car. Their closet is a suitcase. Their kitchen might be a gas station microwave. And for many of them, this isn't temporary anymore. It has become their daily life. Now think about that for a moment. For decades, the idea of the American dream was simple. If you work hard, get a job, and stay responsible, you should be able to afford a place to live, food to eat, and a decent life. But today, millions of Americans feel like that promise has been broken. Hi, my loves. Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I'm going to let the rest of the videos roll. Then I'll come back with more commentary. Do well to like and subscribe, and credit belongs to original creators of these videos. Let's go watch, then I'll come back with more.
Hey guys, I'm Jack and I live out of my car, and I get a lot of comments wondering as to why I'm living out of my car and what my story of what brought me here. Honestly, I've shared this story before. This is the shortened version of the story of why I'm homeless and why I'm continuing to be living out of my car. It was just a bunch of unfortunate events that happened back to back. I was living at home with my mom at the time. However, those apartments were very old and not taken care of, so they collapsed and then they kicked us out. The landlord that bought them provided us with a hotel room for all of us to live in. As you can imagine, 8 people in one room did not work out well. A month after that, I was in an accident and my car got totaled, and then I had no means of transportation for my son and I. And there was absolutely no way that I could get him to school and back and to my job. Dad and I made the decision that he was gonna go live with him. His father lives 2 hours away. I couldn't see my son because I didn't have a car. There was no way that I can travel to see him. and my mental state was deteriorating little by little. I acquired quite a bit of debt because I would use my credit card for everything that my son wanted, everything that I may needed. After I lost my job, and that was a whole nother issue because I lost my main source of income and there was just like nothing that I can really do. For whatever reason, I couldn't find a job. Besides the family problems that were going on as well, I just didn't have any money. I knew that there was no way that I can continue paying rent, and I made the decision to live out of my car. Honestly, wanted to get any job that I could, and I started applying everywhere, and I got a job in a whole different city. Honestly, that job kickstarted everything that I needed it to kickstart. Now, I'm choosing to live out of my car, not only finish paying off my debt, but to also save money to be able to get an apartment for my son and I. Because a lot of people think for some reason that I abandoned my son. You can judge all you want, but I never abandoned my son, and I'm never going to. Now, I'm giving myself a 4-month goal. So by the end of this year, I am hoping that I reach my, and I will. I know I am. If you guys want to be part of my journey, that would be so great. I love having you guys here. I love the community that we've built here because everyone here is so sweet. I love that there's no hate. I love that there's no negativity. And that's what I strive for everyone to be. So I got 4 months to finish paying off my debt and save enough money to be able to get an apartment. After that, I am very much hoping that I can, you know, settle down. Car life is cool, and I do recommend anyone to do it if you do want to save money. But me being a mother, I don't think I could take doing car life any much longer than the end of this year. I would want to buy an RV and then travel with my son. I think that'd be so great, but that would be in the future, and I'm very, very excited to see how that plays out. I'm doing this for my son. At this point, nothing can stop me from accomplishing this. But that is the shortened version, but not really because I hella yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I love you.
Hey everybody, my name is Tyler, and because of the out of control inflation that we're having in our country right now and rent prices being over $1,500 a month, I have been outpriced at the rental market, and I live here in my car full time, and I wanted to give you a brief tour. So starting with the bed here, it is a 3-inch memory foam mattress topper, super comfortable. I have about 4 layers of blankets, which keeps me warm, especially right now we've got 20-degree weather at night, so it's pretty cold. Moving over here, I have my cooler. I've had a few people tell me I'm not supposed to have this cooler because I live in my car, but it actually was a birthday gift last year for my 30th birthday, and I just can't part with it. I absolutely love it. Keeps all my food cold and fresh for days. I absolutely just adore this cooler, so I'm not gonna get rid of it. And in the back there, you can see I have 2 really comfortable pillows. I'm about 5.
Good morning, my name is Dee. If you know me, no you don't, keep scrolling, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm 22 years old and I am currently living out of my vehicle. I live in a state where things are very expensive, and so I had to make an executive decision to start living out of my vehicle so I can start saving money and paying off the debt that I accrued when I was young and didn't really understand how to use a credit card or things like that. I finally got a really good job, so things are looking up hopefully. My goal is to be living in an apartment within the next 6 months, and I would like to move states so that it's a little bit cheaper. My job does have other locations, so I am super excited. So today I just wanted to do a quick like what I eat type of thing in the morning. I do have a cooler that I use. I'll do a little tour a little bit later, and hopefully, yeah, maybe I can get some support from this account or things like that, just so I can start really putting things aside to start getting my life together. So I had a cheese stick. I get Polio or whatever brand is on sale. Really, that's just the brand that was on sale at Stop & Shop this week. I got Oikos protein yogurt. Something that I've realized is keeping meat in a cooler is not very beneficial. Aside from the fact that it doesn't keep well, you also can't like cook or anything. So I do a lot of yogurts, protein shakes, cheese, hard-boiled eggs, and things like that. So today I'm doing Oikos. This is the very berry. I love this one. It's so good. I already ate my cheese steak, so that's gone. And then something else is I am trying to be healthy, get my protein in and things like that. I am on like a weight loss journey. This is definitely going to help. But I'm also doing chicken bone broth because I can keep this in my cooler. You can drink it cold. It probably is not going to taste as good. I've never done this before, so I'm interested, I got 2 of these. These were on sale, obviously. I get either this or Chobani. And yeah, I got Chobani protein shakes this week. I normally do Shamrock Farms, that brand, the chocolate. That's really good. But yeah, so this is my breakfast this morning with a cheese stick. And yeah, so just follow along on my journey. This is a totally separate account because I'm trying to avoid people I know seeing it. But yeah, bye.
Right now, the math isn't working anymore. There's nothing like math is mathing anymore for a lot of Americans. Rent in many American cities has become extremely expensive. In some places, a small one-bedroom apartment can cost $1,500 to $2,000, sometimes even $3,000 a month. Now imagine someone earning $15 or $18 an hour. After taxes, that paycheck might barely cover rent alone. That doesn't even include food. That doesn't include gas, electricity, or health insurance. And definitely doesn't include paying off debt. Because another major problem many Americans face today is debt. Student loans, credit cards, medical bills, car payments. Many people are carrying thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Every month, a huge part of their paycheck disappears just trying to keep up with this payment. So when you combine high rent, rising food prices, expensive healthcare, and debt, sometimes, something has to give for a growing number of people that, something is housing. Some workers have made the painful decision that they simply cannot afford rent anymore. Instead of paying $1,800 a month for a small apartment, they move into their cars. They park overnight in supermarket parking lot, outside gyms, near truck shop, all quiet residential streets where they hope no one bothers them.
I did something a little bit insane. At least my family thinks it's insane. I packed up all of my stuff into a storage unit about a week and a half ago. It was 10 days ago. And I've been living in my car. I know. I'm going to explain. Brief timeline of how I got here. So I was in San Diego. I was living there for a few years, and the cost of living was just insane. I wanted to be back in Washington. I wanted to be back closer to family. I've got some friends in the area too, and I just missed the Pacific Northwest. So I moved up here, was on the boat for like 7-8 months. And then it came time to move into an apartment, and I felt like I couldn't do it. I felt like I could not do it. The idea of signing another year lease to spend $1,600, $1,700, sometimes $1,800 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, it was, no, I refuse. I was like, I cannot do this. Like, it felt so in opposition to who I was. Like, I did not want to give this bullshit management company that has a monopoly over this entire area. So you have to lease through them. And they have horrible reviews of the way that they've treated their tenants and screwed their tenants out of their deposits for no reason. There's a ton of Reddit posts about this company. And I was like, dude, no, like, I'm not doing this. And so I ended up having to do a lease takeover for 3 months because I just had to get off the boat because work had to be done on it and my parents had to take off and move on to it. And so I did the lease takeover and I spent 3 months in this apartment, and I was miserable the entire time because I was like, dude, I am spending, I think it was like around $1,500 a month with like Wi-Fi and, oh no, it was probably about $1,550 with Wi-Fi and electricity and everything, trash, all that. So I was spending almost $1,600 a month, and the idea of doing that for another year was just too painful. And I said, I'm not doing this. Like, I refuse. I fucking refuse. I work remote. I can work from anywhere. And so I did something kind of irrational. Like, I literally didn't even consult anybody else. I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell my family. I just got the storage unit and rented the truck and put everything in the storage unit. And I said, fuck this shit. I'm moving into the car. So here I am. Guys, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I could not. It felt like it was going to eat away a little bit at my soul every day that I was in an apartment that I didn't want to be in. I want to be outside doing things anyways. I am good at being nomadic. I've done it before. So fuck it. I'm doing it again. So I'm going to do a tour of the car soon because I love seeing other people's, like, how they have things set up and organized. And I've got mine, like, in a really good spot where I feel like I've got everything where it should be. And I just want to show you guys my cute little space. It's been really good so far. It's been 10 days. I'm happier, so much happier than I have been for the last year. So here's to new adventures.
Yes, I pay $300 to $400 a week to do hotel living, and here's why. Well, first things first, I did not need thousands of dollars to move into the hotel. I didn't have to go through any background checks. I didn't have to do a credit check. I did not have to pay a filing fee. I didn't have to pay first and last month's rent. And another one of the biggest things, I did not have to prove 3 times the amount of the rent to move into the hotel. And also, I'm not locked into any type of lease. Now, that's just a start. Also, let's talk about utilities. I did not have to go out and get my own utilities turned on. The power, the water, the cable, the trash, it all came with my one total amount that I paid to stay here at the hotel, which currently is $307 a week. Now, those prices are subject to change, also per state, per location. Even for me, once I do my reservation, I do it for 6 months at a time, which locks me into that rate. However, when I go to switch my reservation, my price may go up, but sometimes it does go down. It all just depends on what the cost of hotels are at the time that you're doing your reservation. And no, hotel living is not for everyone. It's not the most glamorous lifestyle. However, it will keep you off the street, out from under a bridge, and it'll keep a roof over your head, and it's all about how you make it. But y'all be sure to like, share, and follow. I do a lot on hotel living. I take y'all inside of the room, and I go live. Y'all like, share, follow. I'll be back with more.
I climb in and get comfy and lay down. At first I was nervous when I built it that I wasn't going to have room, but it's actually very comfortable. I can twist and turn without being interrupted by this bar up top. At night when I close the door, I put my pillows on the side, and it almost insulates the vehicle more, and it also creates more of like a comfy environment. When it snowed, I laid like this and I had my blanket over me, and it was very calm and serene. When it was cold in here, I had the reflectix up, and that would help a lot with the coldness coming through the doors. In the summertime, it's been getting a little hot, and I use this USB fan, which is very helpful. I just plug it into any USB power source or even my car and let it run to get some airflow, because I don't have a max air fan in a small car. And then I also can peek the windows open and use this mesh that I have and put it over the windows. During the night, I put my cat's water bowl and dish up here, and I move my toilet right in the middle. Living with IBS is no joke, and when you have to go, you need to have that emergency source so that you don't have any accidents. You're probably wondering how this works. How do I sit on my toilet inside such a small vehicle? Well, I make do with what I can, and I'll show you how. Just like that. I can't sit up all the way, but it's not strenuous in any type of way. I just do what I gotta do, pull my pants out without knocking my light off, and tie up the bag and throw it away. So over here I have a storage shelf that I made out of wood that I got from Lowe's, and I just decided that I would put bins in it because they happen to fit. I have some food. I thought this was creative, just a little pencil box with all my sides, and another pencil box with my seasonings that I use. Every car life needs a blender. USB charge, of course. I still have some. This is the kind of food that you have to cook when you live in a vehicle, like pretty much instant and fast made meals. So pudding and mini jellies, things that you can enjoy without a fridge. And then on here,
I have my mini appliances bin. I've made eggs in this, pancakes. I can make stews. Anything with the crock pot can be made with this. And my kettle, which I use for tea, and soon coffee.
Now, every day, like daybreak, they go to work just like everyone else. Their co-workers might have no idea. Their boss might not know. They look normal, work hard, they seem smile and of course do their job. But at night they return to a car instead of a home. And the emotional toll of this lifestyle is huge. Imagine trying to sleep in a car every night. Your legs cramped, your back hurting, always, worried someone might knock on your window, always worried about safety, always worried about the police asking you to move, and then the next morning you still have to wake up early, clean yourself up in a public restroom or gym, and go to work like everything is fine. Over time, that kind of stress becomes exhausting. Many people, living this way say they feel constantly tired, not just physically tired, but mentally tired. They feel like they are working as hard as they possibly can, yet they are, moving backwards instead of forward. And that feeling is, incredibly frustrating because in their mind, they did everything they were told to do. They got jobs, work hard, they try to be responsible, but the system around them has changed drastically. Wages have not increased as fast as the cost of living. Housing prices has exploded, grocery cost more, gas cost more, healthcare cost more, almost everything costs more. But paycheck have not kept up with these increases, and that gap is pushing more working people toward financial breaking point. You also have to remember something important. Many of the people living in their cars are not unemployed. They are not lazy. They are not refusing to work. They are nurses assistant, warehouse workers, retail workers, security guards, delivery drivers, restaurant workers, people who keep cities running every single day. Yet somehow, even with full-time jobs, they still cannot afford life. Many of them can't afford basic housing anymore. That reality has shocked a lot of people because traditionally, homelessness in America was associated with unemployment or severe personal issues. But today, a new group has appeared, the working homeless, people with jobs but no homes. This situation has also sparked, serious debate across the country. Some people blame the housing crisis, saying there simply, aren't enough affordable homes being built. Others blame inflation and the rising cost of everyday life. Some point at student loan debt and healthcare costs as major financial traps, and others believe wages simply have not kept up with the real cost of living for decades. Whatever the exact cost may be, the result is actually very much visible. More cars with people sleeping inside, more workers using gym membership just to, shower, more employees quietly living in vehicle while trying to keep their jobs. For many of them, the biggest fear is not just being broke today. It's a fear that things may not get better anytime soon. When someone is living paycheck to paycheck, even a small emergency can push them deeper into crisis. A car repair, a medical bill, a sudden job loss, any of them can turn an already fragile situation into complete disaster. And that's why this issue is gaining so much attention online. People are starting to ask, serious questions. How can someone work full time and still not afford basic housing? How did things become this difficult? And what needs to change so that hard work can actually lead to stability again? Because at the end of the day, most people agree on one thing. A person who works full time should not have to sleep in their car just to survive. That's a sign that something in the system is not working the way it should. And until those deeper problems are addressed, more workers may continue facing the same painful, choices, pay rent and fall deeper into debt, or give up housing and try to survive from the driver's seat of a car. That's exactly what many Americans are currently facing. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I would really love to read from you. Like I always ask, how are you doing? Let's hear your take in the comment and see you all on my next. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.